This is KGW News at 11.
We begin tonight with a warning about the measles. 2019 will go down as the worst year for measles in America since 1992. That's 27 years, and the number of cases seems likely to grow. There are 2 new cases right now in the greater Portland area. Thanks for joining me. I'm Pat Doris in for Maggie Vespa tonight. Our Christine Pitawanich has been following the developments for us, and she found out this all stems from a flight into PDX.
That flight was from Amsterdam to Portland 2 weeks ago. One person on the plane was diagnosed with the measles shortly after landing, and now Oregon health officials say there are 2 more cases from that same flight. Take a look at where they went. One of them is a Lane County resident. Another person was visiting Washington County, and they visited a number of places while contagious. Now health officials worry a lot of people were exposed. Take a look at a list of locations where the infected people went. By the way, you can find all this information in detail on our website. The dates of exposure range from October 20th through the 23rd, and the times vary depending on location. Here they are. In Washington County, Wu's Open Kitchen on Southwest Pacific Highway, two Lejours and the Starbucks inside Target on Southwest Beaverton Hillsdale Highway, as well as the Costco on Heather Place, where a manager told me tonight that employees are being warned about the measles. The Clackamas County Trader Joe's is also on the list, and in Lane County, health officials say the exposures might have happened at Blue Mist on Valley River Drive or North Fork Public House on Shadowview. And something important to consider is that people are contagious even before they show signs of a rash, which is usually associated with the measles. Symptoms can include a fever. They can also include common cold-like symptoms. But the bottom line is that if you feel you've been exposed at some of the locations that we mentioned, stay at home and call your doctor first before going in, because that will limit the risk of exposing other people to the disease.
We have a pretty well-defined 2 hours that the measles can linger in the air or stay on surfaces like that. So that can be really tricky.
And you might be wondering, what about all those people who were initially on the plane with that infected person? Well, Oregon health officials say because of the 2 new cases, they're working on getting the names of all the people on that flight. Now, this is not the first time that we've dealt with a measles scare. Clark County had an outbreak earlier this year. It lasted nearly 4 months and spread to 71 cases in Clark County and many more beyond. 53 locations were identified as spots people were exposed. It spread so fast because a lot of people were not immunized.
Regardless of what's happening in the world, this could have been completely preventable in Clark County if we had higher vaccination rates here.
After the outbreak, Washington passed a law requiring people to get their shots. Oregon tried, but failed. The experts are still working to track down all of the places the infected people went. As soon as we find out any more locations, we'll pass that information on to you. Back to you.
And now we're going to move on to that big international news for a moment. NBC News reports the leader of ISIS, targeted during a military raid in Syria today, is believed to be dead. Earlier tonight, President Trump tweeted something very big has happened. White House officials say he will make a major statement tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. our time. We'll have it tomorrow morning on KGW News at sunrise. Closer to home, an awful and unusual crossover crash on Interstate 5 south of Woodburn took the life of one driver, injured several other people, and shut down the interstate for about 6 hours this morning. State police say it happened around 4 a.m. when a 23-year-old woman from Salem going south on I-5 slammed into the back of a Mazda sedan. The impact was so hard it shot the sedan under the cable barrier that separates north and southbound traffic. The Mazda kept going into the northbound lanes where it was hit by another vehicle going north. The driver of the Mazda, 24-year-old Artemio Jean Davila from Beaverton, died at the scene. 5 other people were taken to the hospital, including 3 with serious injuries. Traffic lined up for a long ways, even after the interstate opened this morning. Now to the search for a missing teen, a 16-year-old in foster care who said 2 weeks ago that he was going to the Clackamas Town Center, vanished. Today, family and friends hit the street, passing out flyers, searching, hoping to bring him home. KGW's Brittany Falker has the latest on the search and why this case has Oregon lawmakers taking a closer look at DHS policies.
I want him to know that how much I love him and that I want him home.
That's the message Carol Palmer hopes reaches her foster son, Doug Foa, missing for more than 2 weeks.
My heart is so big for Doug. He is such a good kid, has such a big heart.
Doug has been in Palmer's care for almost 3 years, but was set to spend 90 days at the in-home for boys to get some extra help with personal issues. He was there October 10th, but left and never returned for curfew.
I will find him. I won't stop until I do.
Palmer says she felt like she was the only one looking for Doug, so she organized a search party Saturday. Friends and family traveled from their homes in Albany to meet with volunteers in Portland, hoping to bring him home.
I've got one here.
Palmer got a tip that Doug was spotted here at this Safeway off Sunnyside Road in Happy Valley Monday night. They started their search there and spread out to local parks, posting flyers and hoping to speak to area homeless communities for any clue on where Doug might be.
That's the intersection the 7-Eleven's on.
Doug's biological sister, Merlanda Fawa, joined in the search. Much like Palmer, this has been frustrating for her. She says kids in the child welfare system don't always get the attention they deserve.
They have a future, and sometimes they just need a little extra love and a little extra care, because it doesn't feel like people care in this world about children who have no parents.
And that's an issue that brought out Oregon Representative Janelle Bynum Saturday. As a legislator, she says Doug's disappearance has her looking into the process of reporting and searching for a missing or runaway child in the foster care system.
What laws and regulations are in place that just get in the way of everything? We really have a long way to go. We have a lot of well-intentioned people, but we just need to get out of our own way.
Bynum says there needs to be a centralized point of contact when a foster child goes missing, better notification of foster and biological families, and a child-centered approach to finding them. Meanwhile, Doug's family will keep searching. They just want him safe and for him to know he is loved.
We all care, and we should care more often about kids in the system, not just when something drastic happens. Why should we have to wait?
That was Brittany Falkers reporting. Doug's foster mom is worried that he's staying away because he's scared he won't be able to go home. But Palmer says DHS has assured her Doug will be able to go home with her once he's found. If you have any information on this, you're asked to call 911. Let's lighten things up now and turn to the weather. Look at those beautiful, gorgeous fall leaves. The colors are really coming out across the Portland area. Autumn leaves are showing off, and today was a perfect sunny day to enjoy them. So let's go to our meteorologist, Joe Ranieri. Is it going to last?
It's going to last the rest of the month of October and a little bit into the early part of next month. But let's focus on what we're going to be seeing here the next couple of days. That is going to be some very cold temperatures. We're looking at a temperature right now of 42 degrees. Some locations in the next few hours, you're going to be seeing your temperature drop by about 10 degrees. Yes, overnight lows will be just above freezing in a few locations, so be aware of that. And with the cold temperatures we're going to be experiencing heading into really the next 8 hours or so, we're going to be seeing some widespread areas of frost, not just tomorrow morning, but in the early part of next week as well. Hillsborough, 39 degrees. You just saw downtown is at 42. Scappoose is a little bit warmer at 47, and over in Boring, a temperature of 37. We'll widen things out a little bit and show you the east side of the state. Right now, temperatures are in the low 30s over in Burns. Some models are suggesting overnight lows are going to be dropping down into the mid-20s along the east side of the state. So here's what we have happening over the next couple of days. Areas of frost, again, not just tomorrow morning, but basically going forward into a good part of the last week of October. Lows tonight will be anywhere about 35, maybe 4 degrees on the warm end. And then by early part of the week, we'll be seeing overnight lows right around freezing. Next few days, sunny, dry, and you'll notice the winds pick up a little bit as well. And Halloween forecast is looking to be clear and cool. I'll talk more about what you can expect to see over the next couple days and just how long this cold stretch will be staying with us.
Thanks, Joe. I think I heard a little shouting in the background there as the Oregon game is wrapping up. Excited to hear how that works out.